Hello, 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 hello. I just wanted to come and make a video about a new product that I did a short on, and I just wanted to elaborate about it because I really like the product. Okay, it's about mouthwash. Okay, I normally deal with peroxide. I haven't really used regular mouthwash in a long time. And I grew up on stuff like Scope and Listerine, the original Listerine. So I'm used to something that really gets in and does something. But like I said, I came in starting to use things like peroxide when it really gets in there and kills some things, gets rid of some things. So um, dealing with some issues um, when it comes to I need to get some work done, and I'll explain it real quick. I got a tooth that's growing in this way. I'll just throw that out there. It's growing in this way, and it's been like it's. I've been aware of it for a long time. I had both of them at the bottom growing in, so it does something. It's under the gum, so I'm gonna have to get oral surgery done. Because I think it's time. It doesn't bother me as far as hurting or anything. Um, it's been a blessing that I haven't really dealt with pain as far as that's concerned, but it moves. And because I went to the dentist maybe a couple of times in a row because I really thought I might have had an infection, but it ended up not being one. And the dentist explained it to me that it's moving. And see, sometimes my mouth is very full because I've had to get wisdom teeth taken out, or some of them, one of them came out on their own when I started doing some things like oil pulling. And when you've got things going on with your teeth, that oil pulling, you can't tell me it doesn't do something because I must have had something going on with that tooth up at the top. And I was chewing one day on some food, and I didn't know. I was like, okay, am I chewing on a bone? And it ended up being part of my tooth coming out. Um, but I have a full mouth of teeth, and sometimes that's why the way my alignment is, I'm careful on how I bite down or when I'm talking, because when I say I hate to bite my jaw, but that's one thing I have learned in life, that your teeth will shift. And when you have, like I said, I had many teeth. So anyway, I just want to throw that in there that the dentist told me that no, you don't have an infection, but that tooth is moving, and it has things that I deal with. So that's the main reason why I know I'm going to end up getting it. Most likely, uh, I've not, like I said, I've known about it for it's been almost 20 years, maybe 20 years plus, that I knew that once they take your dental X-rays, that you they tell you that you have these these teeth at the bottom growing that way. Now the top of them aren't doing that. So anyway, like I said, I could feel my gum right now when I was talking, that it kind of grabbed a hold of my side of my mouth. And it, like I said, back in the day, that wasn't the case. So I have to be careful because sometimes my mouth can get full with the shifting that's going on, and I can easily bite my jaw. But anyway, about this right here, um, because I think I'm dealing with nasal drainage also, and I need to clear out all my nasals, and that's another thing that you learn. I used to, ever since I moved back from Florida, my nasal hasn't been like super clear. Now I've done the neti pot, and maybe I'll do a video on that too, because it has helped a lot. But I kind of slowed down on doing it. It stopped me from having that sinus pressure that would make your face like tight and uncomfortable. But anyway, so the reason why I brought that up is because you have that nasal drainage coming down. Um, I'm bad on eating. cheeses, and I do dibble and dabble with eating sugary foods and things. Um, and I'm gonna have to pull back because over time things catch up with your body. And I've been working on my gut system and all of that kind of stuff because just like I said, I've been taking garlic. Um, but anyway, this mouthwash I came across looking it up on a video, had no idea about it, never heard of it, never knew anybody that talked about this kind of mouthwash. But when I say this stuff is super powerful, and going back to what's going on with my tooth when it moves, it has a fluid that comes up. So that's where my problem comes in, and it's gotten worse. And that's another reason why I say I'll probably have to get to this. My goal is to get to it this year. I finally got to the point where I'm like, okay, nobody wants to touch it. A regular dentist, it has to be an oral surgeon. So it is what it is. And before I get it done, I'm gonna have to check for them to fully explain to me, because that's really the only problem I'm having. Because that fluid, like he said, when it moves, that fluid comes up and out of from under my gum. So I irrigate and all of that kind of stuff. And I'm gonna be real with you. All the stuff that I do as far as my hygiene, as far as my mouth, if I didn't have this issue going on, I mean this would be immaculate dental, I mean hygiene care. It would be immaculate. But see, like I said, that stuff, it got worse. It got to a point where it was just always coming up. And I know in some cases you deal with tonsil stones or whatever. So those type of issues that, because like I said, I've been adamant on using peroxide. And I also use tea tree oil, and I also use oregano oil dealing with skin and mouth care. So this right here, came across it, and when I looked it up, it only took me a few hours that I was like, okay, let me tap into this. Let me see what it's about. When I find out something, I catch it, and I found it in on somebody's video that wasn't even talking about this particular mouthwash. So when I come across stuff and somebody comments or says, gives their opinion, advice, whatever about it, it's like, okay, if a person is talking that strong about something, okay, let me go look this product up. So I go look it up, and the comments, I mean the videos that are about this mouthwash, I was like, well, what kind of mouthwash is this for somebody to be so talk about this in such a strong way? So that day, I think that day might have been the next day that I looked up the information, and I got out there quick as possible to go get it. Because it just seems like the things that I use now, they're not holding up as strong. And it's just an issue. And it's like, it just seems like some stuff it gets immune to. Because really what's going on, it's just not your normal fluid coming up out of that, from under that gum. And I think even at night, it's constantly coming up. Like I said before, it wasn't as bad. I mean, I use an irrigator, and when I first bought the irrigator, my problem wasn't nowhere near at all, even seeming like a problem. And then I was just thankful that I was already using the irrigator, because I could get down in there with the pressure. And see, the thing about it is, one of the dental offices gave me a tool that had the little curve to it where you put the fluid in it. It's a syringe, like a syringe with a little curve on the end. And I was using that at first, and I was like, okay. So when I came across that, and I know I'm kind of stretching out, but all of this goes together. This is all under the same topic, because who knows who has a problem out here in this type of in this lane, in this category. Because like I said, I never had big problems with things like that. And so I went out and got the product. And when I say it's a 2-part product, I'm going to pull this top off because this is empty. And I'm going to show this again because this is the main thing that I'm talking about on this video. And like I said, I'm gonna take time to elaborate on everything for anybody that really needs to understand. Cause I did come across tonsil stones a few years back. I had no idea about it, never heard about them. When you start getting tonsil stones, you get something caught. You feel something getting caught in your throat. And I know this is a product that'll be good for people that are dealing with tonsil stones. Cause I didn't find out about tonsil stones. I don't even think I've known about tonsil stones for 10 years yet. I want to say within the last 8 years, maybe. But anyway, so somebody that deals with the tonsil stones and they haven't gotten it under control yet on getting them out, because I haven't. Because I don't think I have them a lot. Because I tried to look back in the back, and I'm going to have to start using like a flashlight to try to look back there at the same time. And but the irrigator is super. I mean, it's just so the irrigator is just so wonderful as far as the health of your mouth. And this right here, I already add things like peroxide or whatever to my irrigator. Anything light. Be careful when you use the irrigator, and because I did, if you put stuff in there, like I put salt, but I also have a glass that I put my water in before I put it in my irrigator, because I use iodine. So I put stuff in my water first, and I'm always having water on reserve, because I use my cold water when it's turning, before it turns to hot, or in that stage, because I'm not, it's no point in wasting the water. And like I said, I use iodine to put in my water. So anyway, this is another wonderful additive. What I did was, I use it full strength, but then I also, like I say, I use my irrigator, and I put it in there. So it's gonna be a two part thing the way I do it. I'll put it in because this is the little cup that you use to pour it in, and I'm gonna go ahead and explain it, that that you see that there's two openings right here, because, and you can see the splitting of the containers. It's two separate containers put together. And let me see. No, you can't tell at the bottom. Well, yeah, you kind of can, but you're not going to be able to see it probably on the camera, but you do see that line. That's a separate container. But up here at the top, you can really see it. Oh, and another thing that I don't know what's going on with the atmosphere, but it seems like it's making, because I'm not the only one, and other people have been talking about it, with this stuff that's been going around lately, for sure, that you get dry mouth, and I'm not used to getting dry mouth. And I also, dealing with my gut system, I'm gonna throw this out here too. With my gut system, that's another thing that, especially dealing with the garlic, I'm gonna try to get help that. That's another reason why I wanted to start using the garlic again, the raw garlic. Is because I need to get my gut system balanced out. Because from what I'm understanding, when being in, somewhat, you learn more in real life than you kind of learn in school, about some of the important things. Because I've been in the medical field in school and whatever, and when you realize that your gut is your second brain, that you have to get that in balance. And I know, with, just like I said, with eating certain things, that you've kind of imbalanced your gut system. So I'm gonna try to get that in order. That's gonna be that's one of my main focuses, because I feel like if you get your gut system in order, it's gonna make a big difference. But like I said, this is a 2-part product. And when you pour it out, like I said, it's empty, because I'm about to go get me some more. And I found a larger bottle. I did buy this from the Dollar General, because from the information that I came across, they were saying that this was cheaper at the Dollar General store. And on the information that I was coming across, that they were saying Walmart was a little more expensive. But in the end, when I took the time, I had to go to 3. It's like some people know about this and some people don't, but enough know about it that when they go buy it, that, people kind of buy it out and it's empty. the stores. I had to go to 3 Dollar General stores to find. Well, at the time when I went to the last Dollar General store, and I had to find one off in the cut that I knew was kind of new, and that it was probably not going to be the products wasn't going to be as ran through in some places. The higher traffic areas are the ones that's going to be out of it for sure. But they only had 2 in the location that I found this one in. So anyway, I started to buy 2, but I'm glad I didn't. See, that's where my instinct is kicking in. So anyway, like I said, this is a 2-part thing, and when you pour it, and the problem that I had with this one, I don't know. I'm gonna have to. I wish I could take this part off because the hole on one side didn't let the fluid come out right. Like I had to do it like this and let the one that comes out better. I had to let the one that didn't come out because I tried to put something down. Oh, when you first get this, you have to mash this down. It has a piece. And matter of fact, I'm going to show this while because this is my bag that I bought it in, and I kept it because you can't even use this to travel with. And I think I have, yeah, here it is. When you first buy this, it's going to be, you're going to have to punch holes in the, I think you have to punch holes, or when you mash it down, it punches a hole. It has a little plastic over the little circles right here. So when you first get this, it's going to have this on it, and it's going to be separated. So you have to mash it down and make it lock. So anyway, they said that you can't use this to travel with, and they have where you can order a travel size. But anyway, you have to figure out if you really have to use this. You'll just have to figure out, because like I said, I don't let it go too long without using the liquid up, because like I said, I don't want it to neutralize if it ever does. But I'm not, I can't test anything like that. But anyway, the little part that separates it, because once you connect it and put it together, it is what it is. You can't take it back off or whatever. And so the thing about it is it's supposed to last 12 hours. Well, 24 hours. But you're supposed, well, for it to last 24 hours, you have to use it twice, every 12 hours. Then it also tells you that you have to use it again if you eat food. So that's the thing about it. And right here it says not for traveling after opening. So anyway, at Walmart, I found it was just a few cents cheaper than the Dollar General store, which in the end, it's really about the same. I think it's about the Dollar General that I went to, that I found out the information was about a $8.25. And when I went to Walmart, I think it might be like $8.15. But the large container, and this is a 10 fluid ounce. And so when I went to Walmart, something said go check the oral hygiene aisle and see what price it is. So I went over there, and they have a 32 ounce. So that's 3 of these, because this is exactly 10 ounces. And so it might just be a little over. No, I think it's 32 exact. So anyway, I'm going to pick that up soon. It's worth it. I looked at my receipt, and I had bought this at the end of February, which I was thinking that I bought it at the beginning of March. But it's about, I think this is I think this is either the last day. This is either the last day of March, or it'll be tomorrow, because I haven't looked at the calendar to see if we have 30 or 31 days. And I know they alternate. But anyway, I'm about to go get it's worth it, because the 32 ounces is like $20. Now, I'm not even going to say no names on some of these other stores, because I like to eyeball prices and get things. Because once you start buying something somewhere, once you get a price somewhere, a decent price, you can always just go back. So the first initial trying to find out who has the better price, or call in or look it online, whatever. But I was glad that I looked in Walmart before I bought another one at the Dollar General, because like I said, I'll pay $20 and some change for a big bottle, because this bottle is already a decent size. And I say that bottle was like, it's a lot wider, and it's taller. So once you get to using it, it says on here about using it for 2 weeks, seeing how it does or whatever. And I've been, like I said, it's been about a month. And like I said, another thing that I do is I pour it in this cup. I pour it in this cup and I dilute it in my irrigator, but I also use it full strength. So I was alternating, between that, because like I said, that fluid that's coming up from under my gum, I have to stay on top of it because, like I said, at first it wasn't as bad. I could do something. I could use my irrigator, real good once a week, and it didn't bother me. But like I said, it's just like a car. When you have a situation going on with your car, it's going to get worse over time. And I can't complain because, like I said, I've known about this for probably two decades, and it wasn't doing that before at all. So one day I just realized that I had something coming out from under my gum. And so, like I said, I had already bought the irrigator, and I was thankful that I had bought it because that syringe that they gave me at the dentist office, when I realized, oh, you're pushing that fluid out. Because really, to be real with you, TMI for some people, but it's probably blood coming up. Like I said, that when that dentist told me that that's moving, that it's really blood coming up. So, I need to get it fixed. But anyway, I just wanted to make a video about this wonderful working stuff. And I mean, it's potent. That's why I've had to make a video about it, because this stuff is potent. And just as long as you don't, like they say on the directions, if you don't eat anything, you don't really have to worry about it, and you have to use it for 30 minutes in your mouth. And then they also tell you to goggle with it, because I've looked up some dentists that have talked about this mouthwash, and I don't understand why it's not well known. One more thing about it, the active ingredient, Seta, I can't really see it right now in this lighting, but it's a chloride. When it's mixed together, that's what it ends up being. It's a type of chloride. So, and it's something else on here that it tells me that it's a zinc. Here it goes. Activates zinc ions, blocks sulfur gas, right here on the front. And so when I read that on the bottle, I was like, see, it's when you put those two ingredients together and it forms that chloride that it is, cetilimeridium chloride, and it's a 0.05%. Then I realized, because it does, yes, it says when mixed as directed. So that's what it turns into. And like I said, it must be doing something, because when I say it's powerful, I mean, it's powerful. You feel way more confident, period, on whatever you're dealing with your oral health, as far as maybe tonsil stones, until you get, like I said, get to a point where you're able to go in and retract those tonsil stones out, because I'm not used to doing it. I've been doing it lately, but I don't even see any. That's the thing about it. I don't even see any tonsil stones, but I know that's what a lot of people are probably dealing with when it comes to their mouths and issues they might have. Oh, and it also has on here, where is it at? It's probably on the back, but it says it's for gingivitis. And I know that's something else that people, yeah, here it is right here. It says uses, helps prevent and reduce plaque and gingivitis, and helps control plaque bacteria. So that was another reason I said, let me go ahead and indulge in this, because it reacts different than just regular peroxide or tea tree oil or oregano oil, because I can tell the difference. Because I'm going to tell you one thing, and I'm going to let this be the end of my video, and I know it's probably strong, but long, but I know that it's better to explain some things out and different issues that different people might deal with. And like I said, I threw in the kind of talking about the irrigator, because that irrigator has been hellified in my life. I ain't gonna lie to you. Even before this problem started getting worse and worse, and got to the point where it is now. But that irrigator it'll have your mouth feeling so fresh and clean, and it gets all of those particles out from in between your teeth after you eat. Um, and another thing that has helped the situation, I made a short. I might have made a longer video on that about the I wanted to get the steel tongue scraper, and I can surely tell the difference when I scrape that tongue. Now I've been brushing my tongue all my life, since I was younger, but and even if you use the steel tongue scraper and a regular because they do have a brush for your tongue, but just a regular toothbrush can a hard toothbrush will really do it, because I have been interchanging at the same time with the tongue scraper and the my toothbrush. The thing about it is, using all of those things together, if your mouth ain't fresh by using things like this mouthwash, and using the irrigator and using the tongue scraper, uh, I still use peroxide. But like I said, this is powerful. And it's when I first bought it, before I left the parking lot. That's sometimes I do that with products when I first buy them. I'm so excited. I just want to see what is it going to do. So I poured. That's why I had kept my bag, because I was like, if I ever have to carry this somewhere until I figure out how I'm gonna put it in another container. Um, I went on and used this in the parking lot, and when I say as soon as I put this mouthwash in my mouth, I could feel it working. I'm talking about I could feel a change going on in my mouth. And I kid you not. I'm not just saying that because, of course, I'm not on no level of doing any sponsored video at this point in my YouTube, whatever you want to call it. I'm not going to say a career, because it's not a career to me. Um, but just being on YouTube and uploading on your channel. Man, when I say that stuff was working back there and all on my tongue, I could tell it was working. I was like, oh yeah, I see this as a hellified product. That's why you probably couldn't find any, because like I said, it took me $3 general stores to go to before I even found it, because I hadn't checked at Walmart yet. Um, but yeah, that stuff was, I could just feel it. It was like it's a certain kind of taste it does, and I can tell that when you have things, chemicals, especially when you combining something together and you making it a different one, because for whatever reason they don't want to combine that chemical together out in one container, because the life of it probably doesn't last. But when I say I could feel the change going over, it was a certain taste that I started having, and I was like, yeah, this stuff is working. It's hellified. So I hate, and I just want to put that out there real strong, that when I say that, I was like, oh my gosh, I can, it with the strongness of the mouthwash was already there, regardless. As soon as it hit your mouth, it's there. But when you, that second process that was going on, I was like, oh yeah, I've already told somebody real close to me about it. And when I talked to her the other day, she was like, yeah, I hadn't got a chance to really ask her about it. But she went out and got it, because she hadn't known about it for 2 weeks. Because I just thought about asking her. I said, what did you go ahead and get that mouthwash? She was like, oh yeah, but we didn't get to elaborate on it. So best believe I'm gonna ask her. But when I say, that process is in there and it's working, and you keep it in there, and they say, oh, and it foams up too. It foams up, not like exactly. It's a different foaming than peroxide. It's still, it's semi the same, but just because of the different taste, the different taste changes going on, it's hellified. So anyway, I'm gonna let it go. I don't talk too long probably anyway about this, but I like to fully explain things and tell you about different situations that this probably can help, or that the reason why I bought it in the first place. But even if I don't use this continuously for years to come, because even when I deal with that situation, I'm probably still going to have this on hand, and it's going to be like a rotation. Just have it. I might not have to buy it because this has lasted me about a month with interchanging it out in the irrigator and using it full strength. But it does, if you don't eat anything or put anything that's going to change the like if you drink some water, it's probably not going to change your the environment in your mouth. If you eat something that might be kind of light, but if you eat some onions, some garlic, something spicy, something like that, yeah, you're going to have to use it immediately after you eat. But it's supposed to be used every 12 hours in the morning before you go to bed. And it does make a difference, because I will say it does make a difference, because when you wake up, your the it's not fully there. So it does work. So I'll end it on that. Like I said, I already didn't talk too much, but I like to fully explain. All right.